Hi, how are you doing? Welcome to this live probate workshop. Here we're going to focus on and look at the steps for the probate process, specifically in North Carolina and particularly in Durham County, North Carolina. My name is Courtney Rollins. I am the Durham County probate specialist, probate expert, specialist, expert, certified probate. All that stuff means that I don't know everything about probate. It means, though, that I am committed to continuing to learn and to share my experience. I'm not an attorney. And I'm not offering any legal or financial advice as well, but I can share my opinions with folks. And the probate process and probate, in particular, is an area where I've really received a lot of value from learning and transferring that value to folks who are experiencing probate. So if you're here because perhaps you're the personal representative of a probate, or you know someone who's a representative of the probate and you're looking to know what the steps are, you're in the right place. Feel free to contact me directly. You can come to Courtney at stateproservice.com is my email address, or you can reach out through in the direct messages, whether you're on YouTube, wherever you're looking at this, Facebook. I'd love for you to reach out, connect with me, ask any questions that you may have during this live broadcast. And yeah, go back and look at the other material because I put things out all constantly about probate, about estate planning, about just those transitions in life. So let's rock and roll. Let's rock and roll. So I'm going to present. The only challenge with presenting is I can't see questions that may come up, so I'll have to look at the captions later to see if someone has a question. All right. Good old Canva. This thing is really just made a lot of things change. Oh, I'm wearing the same shirt today. Good gracious. Actually, a couple of weeks ago, I put this shirt on. This is one of my golf shirts. I like the way it feels and I like the way it catches sweat and all. And my fiance said, "Hey, you think you might want to go with a different look?" So I guess I like this shirt a lot. But regardless, let's rock and roll. I'm Courtney Rollins. As I said already, I said all the good stuff. But what is probate? Probate, as you may be aware now, or you're being introduced to, is the legal process for settling the affairs of a decedent, someone who's passed away. If someone passes away with property and with debt in their name, there has to be a legal recourse to rectify, to address, to deal with all of that. And particularly in North Carolina, if the property, depending on the time of the person's death, exceeds a certain amount, over $20,000, it really depends on the date of the death, then quite often they'll have to open up a large estate and go through probate, even if there's a will. In fact, probate is the way the will's wishes are executed. All right. So there are legal structures, though, to avoid probate. And if you want to learn about those, check me out or contact an estate planning attorney. I've connected to a nationwide network of vetted professionals. So please do that because we do want to avoid probate. But if you're hearing this, you can get through this, and you can get through this hopefully with as little pain as possible. This is a basic overview of what we're going to go over today. Opening probate, notifying creditors, taking inventory and accounting, and settling debts and taxes. We're sort of the same thing. And distributing the inheritance. Those, I should number these, but those bullets 3, 4, and 5 are sort of happening at the same time. And well, even inventory happened beforehand, but we'll look at that. And then closing the estate. So let's see. Ooh, what happened to the bank account? That's a good question. But let's see. Yep, I'm always down at the bank. I'm down at the Durham County office. Ashley and Shanita, Swanita, and Nick. Those are great guys. And Ladies Victoria, also amazing person, and several other deputy clerks who are committed to helping you. Their hands are a little tied, though, as far as being able to offer any opinion. They're not giving legal advice, definitely, but they definitely can't even offer an opinion in cases. So they're so supportive, they're so helpful, but they are a little restricted based on what their job, based on the restrictions of their position as government agents. So, all right. So the thing you want to do is you want to make an inventory. This is after the person has passed away. You can go ahead and start gathering and collecting, trying to figure out what's actually in the estate. You will be needing that shortly. But the first step is to go ahead and apply to become the personal representative of the estate. If there isn't one already designated in the will as the executor, or those people in the will don't want to be the executor, then you can go contact the Durham County office or the county where the person passed away in, set up an interview, schedule an appointment. That's going to usually be about 2 months out in Durham County. In other counties, it's probably about the same wait. But the wait, you can expect that if you are deciding to open up probate, you need to expect 2 months out that you're not going to be able to sit down and talk to a person. So in between that time, you can be collecting and gathering information on their assets. All right. So to apply to be the personal representative, if there's a will, you can just you'll set that up, and then someone's calling me, gracious, and then you'll be able to you'll be able to they'll give you letters of administration if there is not a will. If the person passed away without a valid will and you apply to be the personal representative and you're approved, then you're the administrator. If there is a will and it shows you're the executor, then you will be, it's letters of testamentary, because it's the testament as opposed to just an administration. And we can go in a little more details. Really, if there's someone who doesn't want to, they'll fill out a simple paper that's notarized, stating that they renounce their duties as the executor of the estates, and then the judge or clerk will decide whether you're acceptable, and then you can rock and roll. And once you get your letters, then they're going to ask you, and it costs, and this step costs, so it's about $120 to file to open up probate. So expect to pay that. You can pay it cash or check at the office when you go in. But you can definitely call and ask before, so that you can know how much to expect, just in case prices have changed. This one I still go back and forth on. Of course, you notify your friends and families. However, when you notify the bank, there is a chance that I got it back here somewhere. There's a chance that the bank may freeze the account. So I would make sure that I have letters of testamentary open, or letters of administration available, I should say, and go ahead and open up an account in the name of the estate. This is where you're going to be able to handle all the transactions, pay out, receive funds, and things of that nature. And in this way, you'll have access. You'll have it in one space. You'll be able to make the accounting a lot easier. And so then when you if you contact the bank prior to having letters of administration or letters of testamentary, then they may freeze the account, and you can only have access if you're legally able to. So just make a note of when you actually contact the bank. Also, please note that you will administrate. Oh, please note that you will need to open up, or you will need to file notice to creditors. And that's simple as where'd they go? That's simple as contacting the if you're Durham County, North Carolina, you're going to contact the Carolinian, or I'm trying to get the name of the other one right here. I just actually did it for the Herald Sun. I always get the Herald Sun mixed up, because I like the Carolinian because they're a little smaller, and they Cynthia and Andrea, they respond a lot quicker than the Herald Sun. But if you're in Durham County, the Herald Sun's available, and the Carolinian. If you need the email addresses, hit me up and I'll send them over to you. They respond very quickly with email, not so quickly with calling though. And the notice to creditors is essentially when you do reach out to them to your email, you can just send the death certificate over to them and the letters of administration or testament, and they'll create the ad. Depends on how much, which one you go to. I know the Carolinian is about $275 to run the ad for 4 weeks straight. So 4 consecutive weeks it'll run. At the end of that 4th week, all potential creditors will have 90 days from that last week it's run to reach out to you to submit their claims. And that's 4 months total that has to happen at least before you can move forward. And wait for that 90 days before you pay anyone. Don't pay anyone anything yet, because one, there's a priority listing of who gets paid first, and also there may not be enough funds in the estate. And I highly recommend that you negotiate each of those debts. Call each of those people and say, let them know, hey, the situation, I just had a loved one, who I lost. Would you be willing to forgive this? Okay, would you be willing to take a significant, off of it? It does not hurt to ask. Some will say yes, some will say, well, we'll take some off, and some will say no. But those who do say yes, because you asked, you'll leave more funds in the estate, which can be distributed to heirs. You'll also need to be able to file taxes. Any income that's come between the time of the decedent's passing that belongs to the estate will have to be put in there, and all those things. So you'll need to make sure you submit that. Make sure you connect with a CPA so that you can do that properly. All right, and then you make distributions. So you'll distribute the remaining assets to heirs based on the will, or if there's not a will, intestate law will dictate who it goes to. And you follow that along. Make sure you get a record of receipts. If someone doesn't want something, get a record of renunciation of benefits. All those will have to go into the accounting, the final accounting, when you go back. So you'll go back. I should update this workshop. So you'll go back. You'll be going to the office several times. You'll go to open up the letters of open up the probate. You'll submit the notice to creditors, which you don't really need an appointment for that. You can send that in. But you will go back to file inventory, so that the inventory is you showing a listing of all the assets and all the debt that is in the estate. All the assets that are in the estate, I should say, all the assets in the estate, and you'll have to pay a fee based on how many assets are in the estate. Right now, it's you'll pay whatever the gross amount the estate is technically worth without any debt. The gross amount is like multiply that by 0.04. So 0.004. What's that, like 4 cents to the dollar? 40 cents for every $100. 40 cents for every $100. So 4 cents for every $10. Yep. So every $10 that the estate's worth, you'll have to pay 4 cents to the to the county. And so that's another time you'll be in there for the inventory. You also will go back in for the final accounting, where for the accounting, so you can see, hey, this is how it's distributed, this is how it's paid out, this is all that there. And at that point, you'll have finished up and you'll close up the estate, because you've sent out all the you paid all and addressed all the debt, and you've distributed all inheritance, and there should be no more remaining balance for this person's life when it comes to assets and debts. If you do need support, I can help you navigate the process more efficiently. Sometimes it's just a matter of just having someone shine a light of what the next steps are. That's all you need. I would definitely love to help you. I know these situations are tough, and the more I'm able to help people, the more experiences or more cases I see, the more I'm able to help other folks, if that makes sense. Also, of course, I stay in my lane, so finding the right attorney for you can be helpful, and would love to do that for you, and reducing the cost, because again, back to number one, making sure a lot of the administrative lag or steps that you need to take can be taken without it costing you for the however the attorney is structuring their fee. And if there is property or even stuff involved and you need support with that, perhaps you need a way to keep the property, I can help you with contractors, finding a way to keep it. Or if you want to sell it for top dollar and list it, I can help you with that. If you want a speed and convenience so that you can unlock the equity and inheritance or pay off debts, whatever you need to do, I certainly can help with that. It's really not my solution. Is what's the best way that helps you. I guess it's just one of those reviews, some more reviews, and all that good stuff. Yeah, you can check out the reviews at Google. I'm proud of the work that we do, and look forward to continue to do that. All right, let me see. It might not be any questions here, and if there aren't, we're just going to keep rocking and rolling. Is there a timeline on the inventory? Oh, Taylor, how's it going? Yes, there is a timeline on the inventory. It is, I believe it's within 120 days. You can get extensions. Let me see. I'm looking at my notes right here. The inventory timeline. It's what are my notes? I just answered that question. You know what? I'm going to find that answer for you. I know we're meeting later this week. So I look forward to meeting you. And let's see, take notice has a duty to pay the order. Yeah, I'm going to give Victoria a call right now to see when. I know there is a timeline that it has to be paid within 1 year of complete inventory, 9 days after qualification. But where is the notice to creditors? Well, if the inventory has to be completed within 90 days after qualification, how could that? I'll have to figure that out. I'm going to find that out. I'm not going to give you an answer that I don't know. I know inventory, after you file, you have 90 days to submit your inventory, but notice to creditors, of course, you have to wait 40 months. Not 40, 4 months. What would happen if it is missed? Then you have to submit a, Taylor's asking, what happens if you miss filing the inventory? Oh, he said to inventory. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you have 90 days after qualification. Sorry, I was reading that wrong. For some reason I was thinking notice to creditors. Yep. Once probate's open, so once an administrator has been assigned or a executor has been assigned, you have 90 days to file the inventory. If you miss it, then you can be subject to penalty. The personal representative does have a fiduciary responsibility. However, people are very understanding. You can submit email, mail, overnight mail, or just even people contact me if you're in Durham or even North Carolina. I can run up and submit a file an extension, and in the extension, you just write the reason for the extension. Perhaps you're still trying to locate different accounts, or perhaps there's some dispute over certain property or inheritance and things of that nature. People are very understanding. They recognize that people don't go through this every day. And hopefully people won't be going through this every day. But hopefully that answers your question. And yeah, so the inventory, for some reason I was thinking notice to creditors. It is 90 days from the opening that an inventory needs to be submitted. All right. All right. So let's see. Are there any other questions coming up? I don't see any right here. All right. Well, other than that, I hope this was helpful, and I will talk to you all later on. Yeah, I'll see you Friday, Taylor. Blessings to you, man, and to everyone out there. Life in transitions. Let your light shine. Almost forgot my sign off. Take care.